She's living in your head rent free, and it's keeping you living in the past, and ultimately it's preventing you from moving on in life. And the worst part about it is she's already moved on. I know it sucks to hear, but it's something that a lot of us men face after a significant breakup and ending of a relationship in our lives. So what is it that makes it so difficult to stop thinking about her? You know, all of the good times that we had, all of the bad times that cause us pain and misery. Why do we still allow ourselves to keep thinking about them, and why is it so hard to just move on? I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why this could be happening in your life, and also share some strategies on how you can finally put this chapter to rest and be ready to now move into this next phase of your life. So let's dive into it. One of the reasons why this could possibly be happening for you is that you're feeling that whatever you're going through, your situation after your breakup was completely unique to you and you alone, that nobody else could understand it. This was absolutely the case for me with a woman that I dated a couple years ago. It was one of the best experiences that I've had so far in my life with a woman. We spoke to each other's love languages. We knew what each other needed as well as wanted. Communication was open. Everything was absolutely amazing. And when it finally came time to let go and to end things amicably, it was devastating for me. And I was feeling that I was the only one going through this, that nobody understood what I was feeling, what I was going through, because everybody else, you know, we're in great relationships, loving marriages, and I felt like I was all alone. And I almost like wanted this to be like I was pretty much being a martyr. I wanted this to be my reason why I wasn't able to move forward, is because my situation was so difficult. Does that sound familiar to you? It's something that used to drive my brother nuts. And at one point, he finally just said to me, like, look, you're not the only one going through a breakup, Roland. There's so many other people going through it. But why are you allowing yourself to keep sitting in this space, wallowing, complaining, reminiscing about the good times? And that's not a bad thing, but just I was doing it in such a way where I just had a pity party for myself every single day for at least 6 months straight, believe it or not. And it was painful to go through. But it's the ego, our ego, that puts us there. Our ego that makes us want to feel that we're so special, that the obstacle in front of us is so difficult to overcome, and we want people to feel sorry for us. And to be quite honest, aside from your friends and family, no one really gives a shit. No one really cares. And so at the end of the day, you have to move past it. You also have to recognize that your situation isn't unique. And what really turned it around for me was really reflecting on and focusing on all of the positives that I gained from that relationship, all of the wonderful experiences, all of the wonderful lessons, because we were together for a year. Again, like I said, it was one of the best experiences that I had. But rather than thinking of the pain of the loss, I focused on what I gained. And when I focused on what I gained in the relationship, not only did I start to feel better, but I also recognized that these type of experiences doesn't come along very often in life. There's only been a couple other times where I've actually felt deep connection like that. And when you finally do have it, be absolutely grateful that you had the opportunity to experience it, and the lessons that it taught you about yourself that you can carry into this next chapter of your life. And once you start focusing on the positives, this is a repetitive strategy that you need to employ every time these emotions come up. You start to reshape and redefine what that relationship meant to you at that stage in your life. And rather than looking at it as a stage of misery and pain, you start to look at it as one of the wonderful memories that you're going to cherish for the rest of your life. And I know that at this point, she's with someone else, which I'm very happy for her for, honestly. There's a part of me that says like, I wish she was still with me, but at the end of the day, it's like the saying goes, if you truly love her, let her go. And you never want anyone to suffer. You always want the best for other people, especially someone that you were in love with for quite some time. So I do truly wish her all the best. So that could be one of the reasons why you're stuck at this stage. Another reason why you could be stuck at this stage, and this was a huge realization for me, is what if you really weren't truly happy before you met this person and started a relationship with them? In the same example, I realized that prior to meeting her, I was feeling this sense of emptiness or loneliness, and is one of the reasons why I wanted to pursue a relationship in the first place. And if anything, that is probably one of the worst reasons why you should pursue a relationship, because it means that you're actually not fully fulfilled in your life itself. Yes, I was doing things in my to improve my physical health. I tapped into some spiritual practices. I started hanging out with friends more, being social. Spend quite a bit of time with my brother and my parents. Doing the right things. But there was always this sense of emptiness that I had when it came to wanting to have a life partner to share life experiences with, create memories with, and I was feeling lonely. And that's normal. I think for a lot of us men, we're all looking for that special person that we want to share and create wonderful memories with. But if we're not fully fulfilled in our own life, and meaning like if we're not actually happy with being alone, embracing being with ourselves, loving ourselves to the fullest capacity, then you're gonna use this relationship to fill that gap. And what happens when the relationship ends? It highlights that gap even higher, and it makes you face the reality again that you weren't truly happy in the first place. This was like a huge realization for me, and it made me realize that in order for me to fully be ready for a relationship, a romantic relationship with deep connection, I absolutely have to be happy in all facets of my life and also feel fulfilled. So that way this relationship is not going to be something that's going to fill a missing gap that I should have already filled for myself already. Does that make sense? So one of the ways that you could, prevent this from happening is really start looking at the situation from a different perspective. If you're feeling emptiness or loneliness in your life, the one thing that really helped turn it around for me was to recognize how much freedom I actually have. Freedom to pursue my passions, freedom to do everything that I want to do at the time that I want to do it without having to ask for permission or having to think about anybody else but me. There's a lot of freedom when there's quote unquote emptiness in your life. And, it's a very liberating feeling when you can embrace that space and recognize that you have all of the opportunities in front of you to explore and the freedom to do it. Being in a relationship takes up a lot of energy. It's not a bad thing, but once you're in a relationship and you have a connection with someone, it does require a level of commitment, a level of effort, and you're not just going to be working through issues with them. They're going to be working with their issues with you. So it takes a lot of energy. And you can only truly be ready for that if your cup is already full and you have enough to pass over to the person to help them out, right? So that way you don't feel depleted or even worse, empty when the relationship ends. So one of the ways that you can turn this around, instead of looking at it as being lonely and that there's this missing part of you, recognize that you have space and the opportunity and the freedom to really explore everything that you want to live a fulfilled life and get yourself to that place where you're just happy with all aspects, all areas of your life. Once you do that, that's a clear indicator that you will be ready now to meet the next person. And that could mean you're ready to pursue, or while you're in this pursuit and reaching this level of fulfillment in your life, you never know when you least expect it, that one person that special person you've been waiting for will just finally show up. It's just odd how the universe has divine timing for these kinds of things. And they always say that some of the best things come when you least expect it, especially a relationship. And I can vouch for that. The couple times where I've had deep connection, it was when I was in situations where I did not even expect to meet someone at all. I was just going to a birthday party, a kid's birthday party, or just to a friend's birthday party, and all of a sudden it just happened. So trust that the universe has some awesome things for you, but you need to be able to let go of the past in order to create space for something new to come in. So try to reframe your mindset if you can around the loneliness. The third piece, and this is a little bit obvious, but I'll just stress this because this has to do with managing emotions. There's no doubt that going through a breakup and thinking about the memories, whether they're positive or negative ones, they evoke emotions in you. And there's a definition of emotions that I really like. They call it energy in motion. That's why it's called emotions. You have to find a way to transmute it or to manage it so that way it doesn't get stuck in your body and causes problems and issues to your mental health and even physical health sometimes. So I'm always a true advocate of physical exertion. So whether that be through sports, working for me, it's working out at the gym. I go swimming with my kids, I go on hikes, get outdoors. Martial arts for some is very helpful. Do something to exert energy so that way you can get that pent up emotions out of you. Another way that you can do it is just be out in society. Like one of the things that I noticed that I had the tendency to do, and I think I see a lot of people do, is we have this tendency to want to become a hermit and not be social with people, which is absolutely fine, depending on where, not for forever, but you need some time alone, but you also need to be out in society and interacting with people and exchanging energy with them. I think as human beings, that's just a natural need that we have to feel connected. So if you can, try to be out and social, but sometimes you can't. And if you need to be a hermit, sometimes when these emotions come up, you just need to sit with them and feel them instead of suppressing them. I know for men, there's all this bullshit content out there saying that we're not supposed to be vulnerable, we're not supposed to feel anything because we're men. Absolute bullshit. We're human beings, just like everybody else. Doesn't matter what gender or sex you are, you will feel feelings. And you're allowed to have feelings. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to cry when things are difficult or when you go through a sad situation. But the thing you don't want to do is suppress it. And even worse, doing it with substances like alcohol, tobacco, weed. If you are doing that stuff, I understand why. I used to smoke weed, cigarettes, used to drink alcohol. I don't use those things anymore. But try not to use vices if you can. But just sometimes you just need to sit with the emotions. And sometimes when you can sit with the emotions, they actually pass a lot quicker than trying to suppress them. And it's just a natural life cycle of energy in the universe that you're feeling. And so it's okay to feel that. Try to expel it through physical exertion, or sometimes you just need to sit with it and let it pass. But while you're sitting with those emotions, whether it's a sad memory or an angry memory or a positive memory, just try to find the lessons, the experiences that you've gained because you've gone through those life experiences. Because at the end of the day, it's brought you to this point that has made you who you are. So that's where you can hopefully find some gratefulness in terms of the experience gained, and that it's going to help prepare you for this next chapter in your life. And then the final piece, and this might be very obvious as well, but I'll just re-emphasize it because it's absolutely true. Everything takes time, and time heals all. You can't be angry at someone for the rest of your life. That's absolutely not healthy. I've seen people do that, and you'll recognize them. They're the ones who are always cranky at everything, this me against the world attitude. They look physically older than they should be. Like it's not good for you. So time heals all. And during that time, focus on you, rebuild yourself, focus on the areas where you feel emptiness or loneliness, recognize you have freedom and that you have opportunity to fill those spaces with wonderful things to be fully fulfilled. And in time, if it's meant to be and it's the right time, the universe will bring that special person into your life. I guarantee it. So the last thing I'll leave you with is this isn't the end. It's only the beginning. It's a new chapter of your life. And if you can let go and move on, there's a lot of wonderful things waiting for you on this other side. So I hope this message finds you at the right time. I hope it helps you. Thank you very much again for watching my video, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Peace out.